Dạ con nghe camera? Okay, now come in. Now come. Huh? Gone again. Okay. Come again. Gone again. Okay. Come here. Now you can hear. Alright? Come here. You can hear now. Mm-hmm. No sound? No sound coming again. Now coming, right? You're not ready. Okay. It takes very long time. How many minutes? Nearly 10 minutes, right? Okay. Now we'll pay homage to the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Today we are going to talk about two dosa mula citta. Then we have to understand dosa is a hatred or anger or worry, anxiety, fear, depression, distracts. There are many definitions. The mula means root. So this consciousness arises rooted on hatred or dosa. So we have to introduce two types. Displeasure, hatred-rooted consciousness associated with grudge and unpronted. Then similarly, displeasure, hatred-rooted consciousness associated with grudge and also pronted. So here we should say only two different things. Pronted and unpronted were made different. So sometimes, generally we are very patient. When somebody trigger, right? Why you are so patient? Then we get angry. He's insulting. Why you are so patient? If I were, I will not be like this. Right? When somebody forces you to get angry, or maybe somebody trigger, then you get angry. This is called pronted and unpronted. Different, right? Sometimes we ourselves naturally get angry. Because the main thing is, when we see, hear, smell, taste, touch, or think about undesirable things, we may get angry. This is also called dosa. Okay, now here we should introduce something about dosa. One commonly understood as just as anger or rage. It also includes worry, anxiety, displeasure, fear, limitation, resentment, hatred, grudges. These are just synonyms of dosa. Now we can understand two different types of dosa. The first one is a very active dosa. When you get angry, you may shout, quarrel, this is very active. Another thing is unactive, like a worry, anxiety, fear. These kind of things are not very active. Similarly, like you can also understand distress, depression. Some of the dosa will force you to be very active. So these are the nature of dosa. Now we may have many different other subjects, many other causes of dosa. Although we say undesirable things, last night I have already talked about different level of desirable and undesirable. Now similarly, in the case of dosa, it must be undesirable, or some unacceptable condition also possible, or we lost something, we may have worry, we may feel sorry, we may lament. This is the condition we dislike. Then we also have many explanations about anger or dosa or something. For example, loss of wealth. When you lose your marketing or your money, then you will feel unhappy. Similarly, loss of health. That means when you have sickness, you're going to feel happy. Loss of relatives. Of course, this is not desirable thing. These are just examples. There will be some special condition. There are some people, they love morality. When they have to break precepts, they are sorry. Maybe very few number of people may be like this. Mostly when we respect moral value, we may feel very sorry after breaking precepts. Similarly, wrong view. When we lost right view, if we value right view, now as now we have some wrong view, wrong idea, we may feel sorry. So there are many other conditions for dosa. Happiness or distress or sorrow or anger. Okay, now here we should introduce 9 grounds for hatred. Agata Watu in Pali. So agata means grudge. We can also say hatred. You may remember 3 types of dosa I haven't mentioned before when we talk about unwholesome mental state. Writing on the stove. Right? There are many people, when they get angry, they keep very long time in their heart. It's like writing on the stove. Not easy to remove. Not easy to erase dosa. There are some people, they are angry, but it does not last long. Like writing on the soil or sandy beach. You may have written something in the beach. When the wave swept away, all the description disappear. Similarly, there are some people, they have hatred or anger, but not that long. The last one is writing on the water. Have you ever tried writing on the water? After writing, disappear. There are some people, they have that kind of anger. So their anger is very short. They can forget, they can forgive easily. Okay, now here we have different conditions of anger. We also say 9 grounds for hatred. So he has done harm to me. This is in the past. We recall when somebody has done something bad to us. After recollecting, we get angry continuously. When somebody asks their anger, right? Today I remember somebody have done something wrong to me. I just got angry whole day. Right? When somebody had that kind of report, I just remind them, right? Have you ever known dosa no sati? Recollection of dosa. Have you ever known? We have recollection of Buddha, recollection of Dhamma, recollection of Sangha. These are good quality we can recall. Quality we don't need to recall. We cannot forget. We cannot forgive. Although it's a long time. Maybe we may be written on the stone. Right? We may have written on the stone. That's why we cannot forget. Another one, he's doing harm to me in the present. Somebody is disturbing now. This is a recent condition, right? We can also get angry. Okay, this kind can be more active mostly. For the first type, it depends on how is our anger. If we can forget and forgive easily, not really big problem. The second one can be for anybody. Okay, now, the third one. He will do harm to me in the future. Because sometimes we can recognize or we can sense something in our minds. Somebody is going to do something wrong. Although it's not yet happened, we have anger. So we can say present, past, and future, 3. If somebody has done something harm to us, there will be anger. This can be ground of anger. We just recall the past, or we just recall the future. In the present, this is practical, right? This is the normal. Okay, this is directly related to ourselves. There will be 3 more other conditions. He has done harm to my beloved ones. In the past also, right? Somebody may have done something wrong to our parents, maybe our grandparents, maybe our siblings, or our relatives, or friends. Just recall that kind of things, we get angry. Then the second one, he is doing harm to my beloved ones. This is also very common, right? Now the last one, he will do harm to my beloved ones in the future. Past, present, future. Concerning which our beloved ones. So here, recently I have already talked about good relationship or close relationship. If we are very close to somebody, when they are happy, we are also happy. When they are sorry, we are also sorry. This is a relationship. So now when somebody disturbs our beloved one, so we also feel sorry. We also dislike that kind of person. These are also ground for hatred. And on 3 more. the last group. Why this happened, right? All the three come up. He has benefited my enemies in the past. You can also imagine somebody help our enemies, somebody support our enemies that we cannot bear. We just like that kind of people also. He has benefited my enemies currently, in the present. He will benefit my enemies in the future. By recollecting these three, we may get angry. These are the grounds for hatred. So although we say 9, then we can divide into 3 groups. Number 1, related to ourselves. Number 2, our beloved one. 3, our enemies. So if somebody makes something harmful to ourselves or our beloved one, this can be ground for hatred, ground for anger. If somebody have our enemies, this also can be ground for hatred. Then we have one more types of hatred. In Pali we call attanakopa, unreasonable anger. What's called unreasonable anger? When raining, get angry. Why is raining too heavy? We are not very happy. Right? It's too hot. We are not very happy. Why is it too hot? Right? Too cold also, we get angry, right? Why is it too cold? We are not very happy. They are called unreasonable anger. There will be so many other conditions also. For example, okay, now you may have some plantation here, planting some grains. If heavy rain, it will spoil, it will damage your grains. That's why you get angry. It's reasonable, right? If too hot, it will destroy, it will damage your plant. Okay, you can get angry. Reasonable. Sometimes no reason. You will get angry. This is called attanakopa. So you may have met many people. They are very, very easy to find fault for other people. That means their temperament is not that good. So that kind of people can get angry very easily. Nobody can please that kind of people. So this type of people is called attanakopa. Most people may have, right? They may get angry very easily because of their temperament. Okay, these are something about dosa. Okay, we should continue talking about moha, delusion. Moha mula citta. There are 2 delusion-rooted consciousnesses. The first one, neutral delusion-rooted consciousness associated with restlessness. So then when we have delusion, why is there no pleasant feeling, no joyful feeling? When you have restlessness, you cannot feel happy. You cannot be joyful. Similarly, when you get angry, you're not joyful. Right? When we have lobha, sure, it's enjoyable. We may have joyful lobha. We don't have joyful dosa or joyful moha. Okay, now here associated with restlessness. So that means our mind is out of our control. Mind will take many different objects, one after another. We call restlessness. This is also associated with delusion. Another one, neutral delusion-rooted consciousness associated with skepticism or doubt. So we may have many types of doubt. Then sometimes you may also have a doubt about your past lives, whether I have a past life or not. Past life is true or not. You may also have a doubt about your future lives. Is there any future life or not? Sometimes you also have doubt about present life also. What kind of human being I am? Right? How many times have you ever asked yourself, what kind of human being am I? What kind of everlasting entity I possess? Actually, there are many questions like this. We have a lot of doubt. Not only that, we also have a doubt about the Buddha's quality, Dhamma's quality, Sangha's quality. We also have a doubt about 3 trainings and the benefit of 3 trainings. Now, we also have a doubt about karma ownership. Have you ever thought about it? The Buddha said, good karma will bring good results. Bad karma will bring bad results. Is it really correct? There are many people, although they are doing many things bad, they are rich. There are many good people, although they are doing very good, they become very poor. Then sometimes we may suspect about the karma. Right? So actually there are many things we have doubt. Some is worthy or doubt. Some is not very worthy. I don't know how many days ago we talked about doubt. At the time I also have already mentioned, if you have a doubt about this morning, evening, or afternoon, when you have this kind of doubt, it's not a problem. Right? This is not really called Vichikicha. You may have a doubt about say Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. You may have that kind of doubt. This is not Vichikicha. That kind of thing cannot block your improvement. If you have a doubt about trainings and in practice, it becomes a big obstacle. We must remove this kind of doubt. This is also part of delusion. Okay, now I have to introduce 2 more things about delusion, moha. Sometimes people also say if they cannot understand something very deeply, they say, I have a lot of delusion. I don't understand it. I have a lot of delusion. I don't know it. Actually, not all the things like this are delusion. Sometimes you have lack of knowledge, that's why you don't know it. It's not delusion. This is lack of knowledge. Sometimes you're not very much thoughtful, that's why you don't understand, you don't know it. This is not delusion. So another name of delusion, you may also have known the Pali word avijja, ignorance. Actually, we have different terms, but the same ultimate sense. Okay, now here we have to start. Ignorance of the Four Noble Truths. So if we cannot understand the Four Noble Truths, this is delusion. So Four Noble Truths will be very wide. Now we cannot analyze very much in detail. Gradually we have to analyze anyway. So the main thing is, if we cannot understand the truth, or when ignorance covers the truth, this is called moha. This is also called avijja. If we cover the truth, then we have another one, past lives. So ignorance or delusion will cover past lives, past existences. Sometimes there are some special people we can see in the world. They have very little delusion since they were born. They could remember their past lives. Then even some animal in the Jataka story, they could remember their past lives. When they have very little delusion. Then when we have very strong delusion, we will become more forgetful. Okay, this is about moha. Again, future lives. When we have very strong delusion, we're going to see future lives also. So you may have known many stories. There are many people, they can know their future. They can also foretell their future destination. But they have very little delusion. Although they are not arahat, they could know well. For arahat, it's very clear because they don't have delusion anymore. They could know their future. Then the next one, both past and future lives. Do you remember last night? I talked about special human being who believe future lives. Right? That person believes future life because he believes he will be reborn in the heaven in the future lives. But he didn't believe past lives. Do you remember this one, right? Last night I have already told you. When we are born in the future, present life will be past already. Right? So here, sometimes people don't believe both past and future. Similarly, avijja, ignorance also can cover both past and future. And on the last one, ignorance or delusion can cover dependent origination, paticca samuppada. Here we can also understand cause of a relationship. Okay, one more thing. Sometimes we want to know many unnecessary causes, right? It's just wasting time. In this retreat, I have a talk to many yogis. When we have new experiences, don't ask 3 questions. How? Why? What? If you ask these 3 questions, you will get confused. Whenever you have new experiences, just let it go. Just come back to your main object, easier. If we find the cause of this endless, it will be endless. But in the case of dependent origination, actually if you can discern dependent origination, this is also called the knowledge of cause apprehension, one of the inside knowledge. in Padipacchaya Parikkhā Jnana. Among the 7 purification, this also the purification for overcoming doubt. Kankavudana Visuddhi. So when we can subside delusion, we can know it, we can discern it. If we have very strong delusion, we cannot know it, we cannot discern it. So these are the conditions for moha. Okay, today we have already finished Lobha Mula, Dosa Mula, and Moha Mula. Altogether we have 12 types of unwholesome states, unwholesome consciousnesses. 8 greed-rooted consciousnesses, 2 hatred-rooted consciousnesses, and 2 delusion-rooted consciousnesses. When we are going to do something bad, it comes from one of these 12. So today we will start unwholesome action. And we will not elaborate very much in detail. I have to foretell you because, right? If I elaborate too much, it will take very long time. I don't think I can finish this in this retreat. That's why I will summarize as short as possible. But anyway, some part I will elaborate. Okay, now, these are 3 bodily wrong actions: killing, stealing, sexual misconduct. Okay, we can start with killing. What does it mean really called killing? Every day, when you undertake precepts, you also chant, Panadipada, Vietnamese Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. What is the meaning of Panadipada? Grammatically, Pana, Adi, and Pada. 3 Pali words. Pana means living beings. Adi means quickly. Pada means falling. That means their lifespan become very weak. That they will fall their lifespan. That means their lifespan becomes shorter because of our action. If we don't kill, they can survive very long time. Because of our action, their lifespan becomes shorter. This is called Panadipada. Actually, there are many ways of killing. Okay, here I should start with the first one. Pana, the being is alive. This is also very clear, right? It must be living beings. So like for example, cotton tree. According to Asian culture, they also believe there is a life faculty in the tree. That's why the Buddha also laid down the rules for bhikkhu, not to cut the tree. But according to Abhidhamma, there's no life faculty in the tree. That's why this is not living beings. Second one, Pana Sanyita, one perceives it as a living being. That means we have perceptions of living beings. Sometimes we don't have perceptions of living beings. In this kind of case, we cannot say killing. For example, here we have what? Cable. Right? If cable is short, it will be a little bit similar to a small snake. The cable is also black. We also have black snake, right? So that means, although we have Pana Sanyita 1 and 2, right? We also have perceptions of snake, but it's not really snake. Just compare 1 and 2. Although we step on it, it's not Panadipada. Okay, now the third one. Vadaka Chitam, there's an intention to kill. Okay, we'll compare these three. We see very big line of ants. We also know that it's a living being. They are living beings. We also have intention to kill. We step on it. It's very clear, right? We have already fulfilled 3 factors. I think there are 5 factors, 2 more. Okay, go back to previous topic. Cave. Within this is snake. We also have intention to kill. We step on it. Okay, number 2, we have perceptions of snake. 3, we have intention to kill. But number 1 is not living beings. It's not killing. Now, 4. Ubekamo, there's an effort to kill. Okay, here when we talk about effort, there can be many different conditions. We can have bodily efforts. We always have kill. This is also one of the action, one of the efforts. Because sometimes we don't kill directly. We just command or order somebody to kill. This is also called effort. So mostly we understand killing as bodily action. Actually, we can also break this precept verbally, by speech. Okay, one more condition. If you have learned black magic by reciting something, you can also kill somebody, right? Living beings. This also can be bhava action by chanting something. Then if you have special power, as soon as your mind inclined to do something, it will happen, for example. So you may have intention to kill somebody. Mentally, you just do some action mentally. They will die. So, if we say briefly, it can be bodily, verbally, mentally. For mentally, it's very rare, because in Buddha's in the text, it also mentions Kamma Vipakatiti, some special power produced by karma. You have known many people, they have special power. Even at the time of the Buddha, there are some people, since they were born, they have special power. Right? Anyway, that kind of thing also can happen in modern society. There are some people, since they were born, if they say something, it really happen. If they hate somebody, they make the swearing or something, they swear or something, it will really happen to that person. Right? Sometimes, although they don't speak verbally, just they are inclined to do something. It really happens. When somebody has this kind of action also, can be considered as an effort to kill. Sometimes we also make like a food poisoning. We make action first, but he didn't eat. Our actions fail, right? He didn't die. Or then we may set a trap or snare. Some animal step on it, then they die. So when we set trap or snare, this is also action. And finally, Tena Maranam, the being died as a result. So altogether 5 factors of Panadipada. I will repeat. It must be a living being. We also have perceptions of living beings, or we know it is a living being. 3, we have intention to kill. 4, we make efforts, we make action. 5th, the living being die. If we have completed these 5 factors, it is called stealing. Or it's called killing. If we don't have one of them, it's not really called killing. We must do all the 5. If one of them is invalid, it's not killing. So that means sometimes they also ask many questions, right? We have this kind of condition, is it killing? This kind of question, is it killing? Actually, you don't need to ask me this kind of question. Just trying to check with these 5 factors. If you have completed these 5 factors, it's a killing. Okay, one more thing. What kind of things can make akusala karma heavier, stronger? Killing a mosquito and killing an elephant. They are with different karma. Because we have different effort. When we kill a mosquito, 1 strike, finish. If you are going to kill an elephant, you have to prepare very well. Otherwise, you can be a victim. Because you have to prepare a very long time. You have to make very long time action, long time efforts, for preparation. So that means our efforts, it can be body efforts, it can be mental efforts. This will make the karma strong and weak. Then we also have another conditions. That is defilements. How strong our defilements? We may kill some animals for food. This is the greed. How strong our greed? Sometimes we have favorite food, for example, right? For example, you may like pork, right? Then you hunt, bored, right? Then you can also feel happy when you were hunting. Drying food, loba. Right? Defilements stronger, then it will be heavier akusala. Another thing is that the value of the victim. Because of the virtue of the victim. For example, when somebody kills an arahat, it's a mighty karma. If somebody kills their parents, this is also called mighty karma. Different value. We can also understand the detriment of the people. Right? How harmful for the community. For example, there's somebody who can help the community very well. If we kill that kind of people, many people feel happy. Many people feel sorry. This is the value of the people. Then by killing that kind of people, many people have to suffer. This is virtues. It's the value. That is why it becomes heavier. Okay, now we should move the next one. Stealing. Paraprekhitam. The object belongs to other. It can be any properties that belong to somebody. It can be living things, it can be non-living things. This is called Parabrahikita. Now we have two. Parabrahikita Sanyita. One perceives it as belongs to another. That means we also know it belongs to other people. For bhikkhu, we have different rules. Right? Different rule means if that belong to deva or animal, we can take it. For bhikkhu rules. Right? For lay person, you should consider what to do. Okay, the next one. Teya chitam, there's an intention to steal. This one's very clear already. Now the next one. Ubakamo, there's an effort to steal. This is the problem. We may have many different types of effort. Although we say stealing in English, but the real meaning of adina dana is not that simple. Adina means ungiven. Adana means taken. If the owner didn't give willingly, we must not take it. If we take it, it is adina dana. Okay, a few things we have to understand about stealing. For example, now modern society, kidnapping, blackmail. We force people to give their property. Then the victim has to give property. Or hostage have to give property. Or the family of hostage have to give some property to kidnapper. The owner only have to give their property. This is also called stealing. Sometimes we also bring some case to trial court with false witness, false evidence. We make some problem, we try to take over other people's belonging. According to the law, it will be legal. But according to Buddha teaching, this is also stealing. So that means, if we take buying forks, if we take other people's belonging buying forks, this is also stealing. Another thing is, we may have many other arrangements, or maybe discussion to steal other people's belonging. And we may command or order somebody to steal, or we may also plan everything properly to cheat people. Right? Actually, by cheating also we can get people's property. This is also called adina dana. Then, now modern society like corruption. Right? The real owner can be defeated if you can get more money. According to the law, of course, right? Money make everything. But this is also adina dana, stealing. Okay, another thing is identity theft. Now, okay, modern society we can also say copyright, ownership, right? So we may have some of our valuable material, maybe some product, then it belongs to us. But there are some people, they also steal our material or our idea or our concept. Then they also make their own collection. This is also called identity theft. So sometimes just changing the name, changing the ownership, right? Changing the name. People also can get other people's belonging. Okay, anyway, although we say stealing, it will cover any way of cheating, taking other people's property, buying false, or buying changing identity or anything. These are called stealing. Okay, now the last one, Tena Harana. The object is taken as result. Actually, in Bhikkhu's rule, whether we can get it or not, if the property is valuable enough, it is parajika. Sometimes, for example, we may bring some case to the trial court with false witness, false evidence, but the owner give up his ownership. As soon as his mind change like this, whether we take property or not, is stealing. Later we feel pity for the owner, we return. It's not the matter. Since you made this kind of problem, this is very bad already. For Bhikkhu rules, it will be very strict in the case of Adinadana. This is very subtle for Bhikkhu. Okay, now we have one more thing to explain. That is not taking other people's belonging. We just destroying people's belonging. Okay, now, I hate villager here, right? I go to they may have water tank there, over here, right? Water tank. I hate them. I don't want to stop water supply. I make big hole in their water tank. Water will leak. I didn't get any profit. I just destroying their belonging. They lost their property. Although I don't get anything. This is also adinadana. Okay, I don't make this kind of problem. Okay, they may keep many of butter or geese or maybe like calves or something, right? They will keep somewhere with very big container. I don't make hole. Okay, I just open the container, put my slipper into it, or maybe put rotten fish into it, and on the cover, you can also imagine what will happen. All the geese and butter or wine will be very smelly, right? They cannot use anymore. They will throw away. I make their property unusable. Although I cannot get anything, they lost something. This is also called adinadana. Okay, I have to summarize. If we make stealing or cheating or like forcing people to give their belonging or destroying their property, or if we encourage somebody to do, it can be adinadana. In the case of adinadana, we're going to talk about black magic or mentally, right? I'm not sure there are some people, they may have special power, they can take other people's belonging. Maybe possible, right? Okay. Now the last one for today. Kamsumichachara. Akamaniya Vatu. The person is inappropriate for sexual relationship. Okay, we have many different conditions here. For example, underage, very clear already. Then we may have some guardianship. There will be different conditions for different family in modern age, in modern society. There are some parents, although their daughter is very old or mature enough, then they still control their daughters. When they have boyfriend, they may say no, for example, right? That kind of intervention. Anyway, if a single woman has guardianship, this is also agamniya vatu. Okay, married woman is very clear already. Accepting his or her husband or other men must not approach her. Very, very clear, right? That was it. That was it. Along about agamniya vatu. Okay, there will be some other conditions about single women. Although they are still single, they have engagement, they have already engaged, then another man must not approach her. But I don't know in Nepal. In India, since they were born, their parents has agreement already, right? That kind of culture do you have that kind of culture in Nepal? You don't have? You don't have, right? Okay, this is lucky. Right? This is the one thing. Okay, we have another condition. Another type of single woman. Okay? Although she's single, not under the guardianship. This is also one thing, right? There is some special conditions. Some authorized people in the community lay down the rules. Nobody must touch that single woman, for example. Although no guardianship. This is community prohibition. If some man have relationship with that kind of woman, it can be one of the agamniya vatu. Okay. In the case of agamniya vatu, it just mentioned about women. It does not mention anything about men. Right? Okay. Number 2, sevana chitta. There's an intention to engage in sexual misconduct. This is very clear already. We don't need to say that one, right? Okay, now we have the next factors. That is, by yoga, there's an effort to engage in the act. So this yoga is also very clear. We don't need to say. Okay, finally, sarigana, there's enjoyment of the act. The 4 factors. Only 4 factors for kamsumichachara. Then we have to summarize, right? Actually, in the 5 precepts, only men are prohibited to approach single woman. Right? Of course, so for married woman, it's very clear, right? Nobody must touch, except her husband. Then one more thing. If married woman had relationship with single man or married man, both men and women break precepts. This is a rule for 5 precepts. So, the main thing is this is very clear, this is a bodily action. Not bhava action, right? This is a body action, very clear. Okay, one more conditions. Sometimes we encourage somebody to do that kind of bad things. We are also akusala shareholder, right? We can share merit, right? With Dhamma friends, they can rejoice. Okay? When they can rejoice our kusala, they are also called kusala shareholder. But when we encourage somebody to do akusala, then we become akusala shareholder. We must not encourage somebody to do. Another thing is we must not agree when somebody is going to do this kind of things. Another thing, if somebody is doing like that, we must not feel happy also. We must not feel happy for that kind of people. Although we don't commit, we also akusala shareholder. Right? So this is a akusala. Today we just talk about kaya kamma. Right? Although we say kaya kamma, for example, panatipata, arinadhana can be bodily and bodily. In the case of panatipata, some conditions can be mentally also. So when we have these akusala unwholesome actions, we have to check what kind of akusala consciousness arises. Lobha mula, dosa mula, or moha mula. So we have to know which one is the more problem. What kind of the consciousness is a problem maker in our daily life. It will be easier to survive in the moral life. Okay? So now I will stop here. Also too long, more than 1 hour. Then may you all be able to practice 3 trainings, and may you all be able to realize final cessation and no suffering. Okay then?
Vandana Sayadaw. आफूले हत्या गर्न र हत्या गर्न लगाउनुमा कर्म विपाक एउटै हुन्छ कि फरक हुन्छ होला?
He's asking, like, killing by oneself and ordering to kill, will the result be similar?
We cannot say similar or same, right? We cannot know the defilements. Although how strong your mind power to kill. I already mentioned what kind of thing make akusala heavier. Right? For example, real killer doesn't have very strong defilements. The commander have stronger defilements. Right? You can also see who is stronger. So sometimes the commander prepare everything very well. For example, I will give one example. Venerable Devadatta trying to assassinate the Buddha in Gitsakuta Hill. He sent many archers. He chose the best archer, the most skillful archer to kill the Buddha. He also asked him to come to the way, right? You must come along this way. On the way, there are two archers waiting for him. The two archers will kill the most skillful one. He also asked these two, come along another way. 4 archers are waiting for 2. You can also imagine 8 archers are waiting for 4. Double. So that means he made the map. You can imagine how long it would take for him to draw the map of the Gijjakuta. Right? Then he also have to go and check on the ground and survey, right? After that, he may arrange everything well, then he choose people. Because you can also imagine how is his mind, how is his mental effort, how is his defilement. So for killer, only one should finish. A commander, he prepare very long time. So in this kind of case, we cannot say killer is stronger. Right? The commander will be stronger. In this kind of case, we cannot say clear answer. It depends on individual. If the killer is happier than the commander, sure, he will be more heavy agusala. That means he may make stronger effort, so he will be heavy. He will have heavier agusala. His defilement is stronger, heavier agusala. Okay, it depends on the condition they have. Okay. You know this one? Okay, one more question there.
Dạ con thưa thầy, xin thầy giảng giúp con là có loại trộm cắp nào gọi là trộm pháp hay không? Bởi vì con vẫn được nghe các vị tỳ, bởi vì giáo pháp thì không thuộc về ai cả, nhưng mà các vị tỳ khu cũng thường hay bảo là hãy cẩn trọng coi chừng cái việc đó nó thuộc về việc trộm pháp rồi.
Sayadaw, could you please explain to me, is there anything can be called stealing the Dhamma? Because the Dhamma is not belong to anyone, but sometimes in some Bhante also said, please be careful, otherwise you're stealing the Dhamma.
Okay, no, we cannot say stealing the Dhamma, right? Okay, for example, there is some special condition. Some Dhamma book, they have copyright, right? That at the time we may need their allowance. If they allow, we can use their material. Then that kind of thing can happen. Okay? For example, some translation you have to buy soft copy or hard copy, right? In that kind of case, it will be different. So generally, if we say Dhamma, we cannot say it's a stealing. Okay?
Dạ, câu hỏi thứ hai con xin hỏi là ngoài cái 8 cái hoài nghi như thầy đã giảng đó, nó sẽ không thuộc về si hoài nghi. Như vậy khi mà mình thắc mắc là mình khóa cửa hay chưa, hoặc là khi mình học một cái gì đó mà mình không hiểu, mình nghe pháp mình không hiểu á, thì nó có phải là tâm bất thiện hay không? Nó là si phóng dật hay là một tâm khác rồi?
Sayadaw, except some of the Vicikicca condition related to like Buddha Dhamma, etc. Sayadaw just mentioned. Besides that, if we have doubt something like whether we have closed the door or not, or we learned something but we didn't understand, so is it belong to kind of unwholesome mental state, or is it like restless? If not Vicikicca, so is it Uddhacca?
Okay, so in this kind of case, we cannot say Vicikicca. Sometimes we can say negligence. That's when you don't close the door or you don't open the door, right? This is we can say like a lack of awareness, right? Negligence. In this kind of case, that kind of doubt is not vichikicha. So by having this kind of doubt, you cannot be reborn in the hell or bad destination. Similarly, like the restlessness also not so strong, right? In this kind of case, not that bad. Okay? Okay.
Sayadaw, there are some questions on Zoom. Dear Sayadaw, if a person wants to take deworming medicine because they have many worms in their stomach that are causing illness, would this act of deworming be considered as violation of the precepts against killing?
Actually, you have to check. I don't know your perception also. Right? How do you know it? How do you feel it? Okay, I have already mentioned 5 factors. You have to check these 5 factors. Right?
Banana Sayadaw. Sayadaw, I have heard while arranging for dana, if some devotee dana, then the one who gives to the Bhante earn lot of merits, or the one who have given the dana on, is it the same for before case? अघि नै भन्नुभएको केस र अहिलेको केसमा चाहिँ चेतनाकै कारणले चाहिँ कर्म बन्ने हो भन्दैछु। त्यो दान गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ जसले चाहिँ दान दिन्छ नि, दिँदाखेरि चाहिँ पुण्य धेरै पाउँछ, अनि त्यसपछि दान गरेको भन्दा पनि जसले चाहिँ खाना बनाएकोले चाहिँ बढी पाउँछ, खाना बनाएको भन्दा पनि दिएकोले चाहिँ पुण्य धेरै पाउँछ भन्ने सुनेको थिएँ। त्यो मार्दाखेरिको र चाहिँ यतातिर चाहिँ पुण्य गर्दाखेरिको चाहिँ उस्तै किसिमको बुझ्नु पर्यो भन्थे। So his question is similar like the one he asks about killing. So what about in the condition of offering?
Okay.
So someone just gives money to offer, but the person who cooks comes to the monastery, and different person cooks, arranges, comes to the monastery and offers in the donor's name. So in this case also, should we understand the merit also similar to killing, or is it different?
Okay, we can say the same. In the case of kusala, right? How happy you are, how generous you are. We're gonna talk about defilements, right? In this case, right? Now, how wise you are also. That means, for example, like sometime the real donor just give money, right? Then the one who prepare, they will have extra care. They will take care of everything in detail. They will plan everything very well, right? That means their mind absorb on only one thing. Their mind power becomes stronger in this kind of dana, right? In this kind of case, right, the one who arrange will gain more merit. Donor is a little bit lazy, right? Now we have many ready-made donation. A donor can be lazy. Okay? Okay, now who?
Dạ Sayadaw. Dạ thưa Sayadaw, con hỏi câu trong giới ăn cắp ạ. Nếu mà cái người ăn cắp, cái người lấy đồ ạ, mà biết chắc rằng người có cái vật chủ sở hữu đấy mà xét cho mình á, thì mà chưa lấy trước khi cho xin thì có phải phạm giới ăn cắp không ạ?
So he asked about stealing. So the one who took the properties from someone, knowing that later the owner also would give him, but before asking or before giving, he already took it. So is it considered as adinadana?
Okay. Here we may have different condition again. For example, you are close friends. Although you take their property, they will feel happy. In this kind of case, we cannot say stealing. We have another condition. You have intention to borrow Okay, we should say practical condition. You want to get some sperm from the kitchen. You just go there. Nobody there. You have intention to return later, but now you need to use, you take it. You have intention to return, right? In this kind of case, not stealing. You just have intention to borrow. Later your money change, okay, now nobody see, I will take it. It's stealing. Right? Okay?
Cho con hỏi. Cho con hỏi một vị tỳ khưu có sưu lục một số cái bài kinh Nikaya như Tăng Chi vân vân, rồi sưu lục lại trong một cái tập kinh, sau đó để cho xuất bản và có thu tiền, thì trong trường hợp đó có gọi là bán pháp hay không ạ? Nguyên si.
So now he asks if a bhikkhu he collects some sutta in Nikaya and he make a book, a collection of some sutta, and he sell the book. So in this case, does he commit like selling the Dhamma? Selling the Dhamma.
It becomes business, sure. Right? It's business already. Actually, okay, one more thing, right? Sometimes, okay, with different mindset of people, right? Okay, from my point of view, I'm also writing books now, okay? Anyway, okay, my books will be for free distribution, very clear. I'm not selling, right? There are some people, they have different mindset. I have to make effort, I should get profit. They have that kind of mindset. So they may collect some sutta from Buddha teaching, they may translate into any other languages, or they may have their own interpretation. After that, they may sell the books. Okay, this is also like a making business, right? This is not recommendable for bhikkhu. Right? If somebody does, we cannot say anything, right? You know? Okay, any questions?
Sir, there's one question in the Zoom. Venerable Sayadaw, there are many businesses that use loophole in the law to avoid paying taxes.
I know.
So is that kind of action considered stealing?
I see, sure. Actually, like avoiding tax also stealing actually. Okay, not only avoiding tax. For example, you have to pay some fee for something. For example, okay, now when we go somewhere, on the road there will be toll gates. We have to pay money. If we don't pay, this is also stealing. Similarly, we just go somewhere buying bus. We don't pay a fee for it. This is also called stealing. Okay? Also adinadana. Okay, loophole means sometimes they use tricky way not to pay the tax, right? And this kind of is similar to cheating. Then this also stealing. As far as I know, actually, there are many ways of cheating also, right? They can get some profit. For example, they cheat their age to get support from government, right? I also have met many people like that. They don't say their age, right? Well, for example, when they grow older, when they are very old, they can get some support from government. Right? This is the one thing, right? When they are very young also, like students, they can get profit from government. I remember one thing. In Nepal, it will be the same, right? You don't build your house completely, right? If you build your house completely, you have to pay the tax. In India, also the same. right? Although you live many years, you don't finish your house. Eh? Right? This is also the same in Nepal, right? Like this. Just tricky way, they avoid the text. Okay, anything? Okay.
Dạ thưa, cho con hỏi về cái vấn đề bản quyền. Ví dụ như là app trên YouTube thì người ta sẽ cho miễn phí nhưng mà người ta không cho download. Nhưng mà mình muốn tải nó xuống, mình lại dùng qua một cái trang thứ ba nữa thì nó có phải là ăn cắp không? Vì tại vì bản gốc thì người ta không có cho tải nhưng mà mình dùng một cái bên thứ ba mình tải xuống.
Sayadaw, about copyright, something on YouTube they may not allow to download, but we use the third website, third apps. We download it, so is it considered like stealing?
Okay. If they are not allowed to download, you're going to try to download from YouTube, right? In this kind of case, usually, okay, we can say by using a third-party application, we download, right? In this kind of case, we can say stealing. Right? If the owner doesn't allow, right? Creator does not allow to download his YouTube.
YouTube, they don't have that right of not allowed to download.
YouTube?
YouTube, they don't set the rules that not allowed to download.
Not like this?
Yes. There's some country or some some place allow, some place not allow. It depend on the country, not depend on YouTube.
I see. Okay. So
and not depend on the owner.
Okay.
The author.
In this kind of case, actually, it depends on where you live. Right? Stealing can be according to the law of the country also. Right? So that means in Nepal, if it's allowable, not stealing. Right? If you go to another country, if they don't allow, it's stealing. Actually, for Bhikkhu rule is a little bit clearer. Right? It depends on the price of the day or the time they steal. Right? Also the price, right? And the time. Also how much, or how many years, how many months he had to use the property, something like that. That there are many points we have to consider. For example, new clothes and old clothes. New clothes will be expensive. Right? Used clothes will be not expensive, right? Second hand will be not that much expensive. They're different value, different price, right? That's why it will be different conditions for bhikkhu. But for lay person, we don't have that kind of rule and regulation. Okay, yeah. Okay, now 9 o'clock already. Right? Again, good news, you must get up early, right? Okay, now we should stop, right? Any question online? So no more, right? One question, okay. The last question it should be.
Sayadaw, please advise, is a nun allowed to seek treatment from a male doctor? Will it break sila or not?
It depends on what kind of treatment. Right? So, what about a brahmacharya, right? It will be a little bit different from Kamasumichachara. So, for example, Kamasumichachara, wife and husband are allowed to have sex, but they are couple. Right? For brahmacharya, anybody must not do. Okay, one more thing here. In the case of brahmacharya, there are some factors that can make brahmacharya weaker. For example, if we enjoy some touch of opposite sex, raving or massage or something, right? If we enjoy touch of opposite sex, this also make our material weaker. Another thing is that we just see opposite sex, we enjoy, right, behavior or like, for example, like a beauty or something. Appearance, maybe we cannot say beauty, right? Man will be handsome, right? We should say appearance. Enjoying the appearance or something, that this can be make our material weaker. Another thing is that listening to the sounds of opposite sex, enjoying the voice. Oh, maybe his voice is very nice, her voice is very nice, this kind of thing, right? It makes our material weaker. So, then sometimes we may recall what we have experienced in the past. Right? For example, in the past, they may enjoy some sensual pleasure, they recall all the things, enjoying, recollecting. This also can make our material weaker. Then sometimes we just see the couple or family life. Some family, they are enjoying in the park or picnicking or something, they are having fun, right? When seeing that kind of sense, we may feel happy, oh, if I have a family like this, for example, right? This also make our material weaker. Okay, the last one is not that problem. Maybe after doing kusala, then you may make aspiration to be in the Devarams, to enjoy divine pleasure. This kind of thing also make our material weaker. But that's why in this kind of case, I don't know what kind of treatment you are going to get. Okay? Sometimes, for example, okay, I also have get some treatment from female doctor. They use gloves. They don't touch body to body. In this kind of case, it is acceptable. Similarly, then sometimes they make up some treatment, they don't need to touch body. They give medicine, right? Or maybe some advising, or some consultant. In this kind of case, it doesn't matter. It depends on what kind of treatment you are going to get. There can be different solutions, different conditions. I cannot say clearly. Okay? We should share merit, right? Idawadaja amehi sambadam bunya sambaram sabbe deva numodandu sabbe buddha numodandu sabbe saddha numodandu sabba sambati siddhiya Idame nyadinam hodu Sukhita hondu nyadayo Idame nyadinam hodu Sukhita hondu nyadayo Idame nyadinam hodu Sukhita hondu nyadayo Idame bunyam Asawakaya Waham hodu Idame bunyam Nibbanasa Bhajayo Hodu Mama bunya bagam Sabbasadanam Bhajemi Te sabbe Me samam Bunya bagam Lavandu Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu